Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation of that message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story? Yes, hidden identity. My name, you can call me Chiedza, and I do come from Zim. So I came here to South Africa, and then I started working as a nurse. So I came here as an asylum seeker. And when other people were busy sorting out their papers during that time when the ZEP was coming out, because I had a valid asylum, I never thought that this whole thing was going to expire. I thought that it was always going to be there. So I opted to stay with my asylum document until I was unable to renew it anymore. And working as a nurse, it is very difficult to do that when your documents have expired. So it is not easy when you have made mistakes. I think that is the problem that I have. If I make a mistake, instead of me going back to the drawing board, like what I did when I broke up with my husband over a very small issue, and I told myself that let me go and fix my life when I am in South Africa. That is the same situation that happened. That led me to where I am right now. It is not easy to admit when you have made mistakes, especially the ones that can cost you so much. I feel like I need to share my story, not just for myself, but for anyone out there who might be going through the same struggles. I have learned the hard way that not everything that you think glitters is going to be gold. It's not every man that is going to come to you promising you a better life will end up giving you a better life. The life that I thought I wanted, the lifestyle that I was chasing, it is all came at a price, something that I was not even prepared to pay for. Here I am picking up the pieces of my life after my blesser, the man who had promised me the world, left me completely broke. I grew up in a small township just outside of Harare. Life was not easy. My mom and my dad, they were always at work day in and day out. That is all that they did. They would go to work non-stop. I finished high school. After that, that was when I went to nursing college. My family did not have enough money. I started working, and the money that I was getting as a civil servant, it was not that much. And then there was this other friend of mine who was already in South Africa. She was the one who told me that it was far much better for me to dump my husband and to come and join her here in South Africa. So she was in Cape Town. She would always post these beautiful pictures whilst she would be there just enjoying her money, sipping champagne, telling me that she does not regret ever coming to South Africa. I felt like I was being left behind. I wanted to be in South Africa. I wanted to feel important. That was when I started dating this other South African guy. This guy, he just came to me when we were at this other party in Sandton. He came to me and he said that you are the most beautiful girl that I have ever seen in my life. That is where I met this guy. When I met him, he was everything that I had ever imagined a blesser would be. He was a South African, one who could offer me help since my asylum had since expired. He was confident, he was dressed neatly, he was driving a very big car, and I am a woman who is always into these men that drive the biggest cars. And whenever he was around me, I felt so much in love. He noticed that I was in love with him. He told me that I was the most beautiful woman in South Africa. That night he gave me 2,000 rands for just being with him. I was shocked. That was more than I had ever made, just being with a man, and he gives me 2,000 rands, and he was like, stick with me and you will never have to struggle again in your life. I believed him. For a few months, life felt like a dream. He gave me everything. He would give me money. He would buy me presents, gifts. He even took me on a vacation to Cape Town over the weekend. I had never seen the ocean before. Suddenly, I was drinking cocktails on a private beach. I felt like I was finally living the life that I deserve. People started noticing me more, and I kept on pleasing this guy. After a while, I noticed things changing. He started asking me for money. At first, it was small amounts, 500, 1,000. He had an excuse saying that I'll pay you double. One day, he asked me for a lot, and I did not have that kind of money. Even though I had it, those were the emergencies that I had saved some cash for, because I knew that since I did not have proper papers, anytime soon maybe there will be a need for me to return back to Zim to start afresh. He was like, "You are my queen, I'll never let you down." That was the last time that I had ever heard of him. He stopped answering my calls, stopped replying my messages. When I tried to visit him, his security told me that he was not home. My heart sank. I realized that this guy, he was not in love with me. I broke down when I heard that this guy, he was a married guy, and that was why he disappeared from my life, because the wife was working in another province. I started blaming myself, like, why didn't I see the signs that this guy, he was promising me things that he was unable to do. He even went with me to a fake Home Affairs office. Oh man, they are so evil. We really went there in Pretoria. I saw myself, I was at that office, but the things that he did from there on, they were quite confusing. I was brought into another car, into another office, and then there was a man sitting in front of me who asked me a lot of questions, the reason as to why I was in South Africa, and he was joking with me if indeed I was ready to be a Makoti here in South Africa. And I was happy, thinking that this is it, this is the interview that I have heard about when you want to apply for a spousal visa. He said that everything had been captured into the system. Then there were some messages that were going to appear on my phone. Well, the messages never came. I had never applied for anything, so it seemed. I went back home, waited for the SMS. They were saying that maybe it was the network, and then I got into my blesser's car and he dropped me off at my place. This man and that other guy, they had created this fake office so as to rob me of my money. I paid a lot. It is so humiliating how much money I paid so that I can just get a spousal visa, in which I never got that spousal visa at all. So here I am, Brother Nashi. I am just looking for any kind of advice that people can give me. This man, he really hurt me a lot, and the reason as to why I am now working as a hairdresser, it is because of this man. I was someone who had a proper job. At least I was working. He messed things up for me, told me to stop working, and I can only start working when my spousal visa was okay, and I went broke. He took all of the money that I had. So now I am asking your listeners to give me advice. What am I supposed to do? Should I go for a sangoma, or should I just wait until the day that I'm going to find him to confront him? Because I know that if I return back home, if I can walk around, maybe I can find someone who will be willing to assist me. Please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. That was the translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.